So X came out. I was really interested in seeing it. The trailer really grabbed me. I finally watched it. I loved it.
Jenna Ortega is like...
Well, that actually, so you weren't in the Scream review. I was getting like creeped out because like before the new Scream movie played in the theaters, they played a trailer for X. And Jenna Ortega's what, like 18, 19? She's like probably 19 now. But she's one of those kids actors that's now an adult. So of course, super sexualized.
Yeah, she was still young during You, like season 2.
So in the trailer for X,
which good show.
In the trailer for X, you see her being like, I want to be in the porn movie. And she's in her underwear. And then like Scream started where she's supposed to be playing like a 15-year-old. I'm like,
she's 20.
Yeah. Scream started where she's supposed to be playing a 15-year-old. I'm like, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that. I just saw her in her underwear and then I have to pretend she's like a child.
Yeah.
So yeah, X, I turned it on. It's a very sleazy movie. It's a very, very sleazy movie. So when you saw the trailer, right? What did you think it was going to be?
Not what it was.
It's hard to tell. Okay.
Yeah, like
so here were the theories I had. By the way, Tyler Evans, 499 says X was amazing and Mia Goth is awesome in the movie. More on her in a minute. So I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, so they're on a farm, they're filming this porno, and there's a weird old couple. And of course there's going to be murders. And I'm like, okay, maybe they're cannibals, maybe they're like satanic worshipers, or maybe they have maybe the mom is like the old lady's like a witch. I had all these
I was thinking that maybe they had like someone like locked away, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was all in my mind. Spoilers for X. The spoiler is the old woman is really horny and her husband has a heart condition. So when she gets super horny, she can't satisfy herself sexually. So she takes it out and murders everyone. So when she finds out that it's a porn film being filmed, she's way too turned on and murders everyone. And the guy helps murder everyone. I was laughing so hard when I realized that's what the movie was about. I'm like,
And you know who the old lady's played by, right?
Mia Goth plays both the final
Blew my mind. I was like, no way.
Mia Goth plays both the final girl and the main antagonist, Pearl, which is what the new movie's all about.
Jenna Ortega's death. I was cracking up. I was actually really shocked too.
Yes, that was pretty funny.
Especially after like Scream. Like she's the new like younger Scream queen, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I felt bad for Kid Cudi.
Oh my God.
I thought he was going to do more and he just gets shot. I'm like, oh man, that's a bummer. The whole guy died. They get a little too carried. They're like, you know what? It'll probably be fine. We killed a few people. Our adrenaline's rushing. My heart condition will be fine.
Nope.
And yeah, so it leaves you on a cliffhanger of like what's happening with Maxine, which will now be answered later on because they're doing a third one. But yeah, this is a rare case where like the film and its prequel or sequel came out the same year, like because they shot it like around the same time. Yeah, so X is a really, really good time. It's got a great cast. Brittany Snow, I think, is in it. Yeah. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And don't spoil Pearl for me.
Yeah, please don't.
I know we just spoiled X for you, but don't spoil Pearl.
Pearl's newer.
I'm interested to see where Maxine goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Mia Goth?
She's a babe.
It's got a unique look.
I like unique looking people.
Yeah. She's one of those just like she's not conventionally attractive.
Yeah, I don't like conventionally. I can never like I'm like, okay, I guess you're pretty to look at, but like I like people with like different facial feature. I guess you know what I mean? Like Natalie Dormer.
Yeah.
She has like that crooked, of course I had to. She has a crooked mouth and it's really cute. Like that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, she's with
like I hate when everything's like too perfect, especially like teeth. I'm like, oh.
You want like crooked teeth and everything.
Not completely crooked. My God.
So you know what? I agree. There's someone who has like completely straight pearly white teeth.
You look like a fucking horse.
Yeah, their name is Boogie.
You could put the costume on again.
You know, I made a ton of money in crypto. And thank God I never bragged about it at the time, or else I'd look like a real asshole because I do not have that money anymore. But at least I didn't brag about it. Speaking of money, send in some super chats. What did you think of X?
Send in some super chats and say specifically for Johanna.
So yes, Mia Goth is great in it. She dates that Shia LaBeouf. She's pumping out those Shia babies now.
Speaking of the guy, who's Maxine's boyfriend, like the guy who's in charge of the porno.
Yeah.
You know where he's from?
What?
The Ring. He was Noah.
Oh, he was? Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm looking at his mouth and I'm like, I know him from something.
Dude, the cinematographer, he looked like the long-haired dude from the Evil Dead remake to the point I thought it was him. I'm like, that looks exactly like the long-haired guy from the Evil Dead remake. It was really tripping me up. Next up, Pearl, an extraordinary origin story. Did you see Pearl or X?
I saw both. They kind of like his trilogy. I can't remember the director's name, but he has a trilogy of these.
Ty West.
Yeah,
he has the third one is on the way.
It's crazy. They're all coming out the same year, or like right around the same year.
Well, X and Pearl came out the same year. I talked about X in the 2020 horror stream. Really loved X, and I didn't know what to think of Pearl because I know he filmed it around the same time because of the pandemic and whatnot. He just kind of came up with it, and they started shooting it.
Yeah. It's funny. I loved X. It's also on my top 10 of the year.
Yeah.
I dug everything about that vibe. I did not like Pearl at all.
You didn't like Pearl? I really
Pearl.
liked Pearl. And
I
didn't expect, because I'm like, do we really need an origin story about this horny lady? Like, what's going on? But like, for whatever reason, I got super invested in it. I'm like, I kind of like this. I really like this.
Okay, what did you like? Just the kind of going into her psyche and her breakdown?
Yeah, I kind of liked her. I kind of like knowing where it's one of those things where like sometimes prequels are lame because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But this was kind of fun because we know what happens to her. And I'm like, I kind of want to see how she got there. It was like one of the few times I asked myself that.
Yeah, I guess that's just my problem with it is I didn't care about her character in X.
Yeah.
She's just the crazy old lady. And in Pearl, it's like the whole time is spent on her just being a crazy young woman.
Well, that was the thing. Like, I was really enjoying. I was waiting to see when the snap, like the switch would happen.
Yeah.
So I think I was having fun with that.
And it takes the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's just like this. It's like waiting for the DJ to drop the bass.
Yeah.
And it just keeps hanging and
but
hanging.
I like the build up because I like Ty West's movie House of the Devil, which is a movie where like not a lot happens for a really long time and you're just waiting for something to happen. But I like for some reason he's able to keep me interested while I'm waiting.
Yeah, like the thing is, I looked at it and I don't even think I shit on it that much in my review. It just, that was clearly a movie that was not for me. And when I review some of these movies, it's more of just a heads up. Like, hey, if you like slow moving films that are more just on the character psyche and less on the spectacle, Pearl's going to be up your alley. It looked good. Obviously it's a timepiece. It was shot great. It sounded awesome. Good score. And the acting was phenomenal. It's just the story was not something I cared about at all.
Yeah, she is Mia Goth is really good. I'm going to watch more of her movies. I know she's popping out babies for Shia LaBeouf now, but she's a good actress. I really like.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's with Shia LaBeouf. I really liked her in the Suspiria remake, and she's going to be in another movie coming out that looks really, really good. But no, I really enjoyed Pearl. It feels so different than X.
It does.
I was waiting the whole movie to figure out how they were going to work porn into it. And when it finally happened, I'm like, that's going to be the connective tissue between all three, is that at some point porn is integral to the plot.
That was a very, okay. And she dry humps a scarecrow. The
scarecrow. Yeah, that was great. I loved it. Maxxxine, which of course is the third in the, I guess we're calling it the X trilogy.
The trilogy.
Oh, I just noticed there is an X on this third picture. It's her dress strap. Oh, and of course Mike has the Pearl tattoo on him. So you got the tattoo before the trilogy was done. What if the third one really pissed you off?
I did. Hey, I was already committed to it.
What if it was about a Latinx guy named Mike and the whole movie was about how he sucked? Would you got the tattoo removed?
You got him.
I didn't pay nothing. My tattoos are absolutely free, so
I can tell.
Hey,
Okay.
Sister-in-law is a very good tattoo artist, Joey.
I'm kidding, Mike.
Okay, so where I stand on this, I really liked X. I really enjoyed X. I enjoyed Pearl. I didn't love it as much as a lot of other people did. I'm not about to go and get a tattoo or something. But I enjoyed Pearl for a prequel that we didn't really need about a character that won't show up ever again in the series. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed Maxxine. They're all very different. They're all kind of horror.
Yeah.
But they're more just like, they're all different kind of exploitation films. Logan, what did you think of the previous X films, and how do you rank Maxxine with them?
I mean, to be honest, okay, I like the first one because that one I definitely felt like had the more true essence of a slasher.
Yeah,
and I remember seeing like the trailers for it when it was coming out, and I mean, I'm a fan of Ty West. Even like if you go back and watch, I think in something Valley of Vengeance or something like that, or something of Valley of Violence or something like that. But there's his Western movie's awesome. It's not as good as like Django or something like that. Yeah, but it's actually really good. And like his band, like the way the dialogue was just great. And I really liked X a lot. Pearl, to be honest, I don't know if it was just the hype and I saw it later than everyone else saw it, but I just felt like Mia Goth was just yelling all the damn time. And to be honest, and it didn't. I get the trauma and the facts, the shit she had to go through. It's kind of explain what she turned into, but it didn't explain why she was a sex maniac, putting people in her house, so forced to have sex.
Well,
with them.
she was horny and her husband was overseas, and then in the 70s, she's horny and her husband can't have sex with her. He's got a bad heart. Very horny girl.
To be honest, I really started liking it. The end, like the last 15 minutes, I really liked. I just wish I would have got a little bit more of that kind of crazy, like earlier into the film. And then, do we go into Maxxine? How would I think?
Yeah. How do you rank Maxxine with it?
So Maxxine, I will say I enjoyed Maxxine more than I enjoyed Pearl. I do like X more. I like Maxxine, but there was certain things about it that kind of just bugged me a little bit. Like, didn't really feel like we learned a lot about Maxxine. I felt like the point where they get to Bates Motel, she just randomly walks to the lot, and then she, or she comes back to the lot or whatever, and then the director, the second visit, she comes up and she just starts unloading on her and just talking about stuff that means nothing. It felt like I was playing an RPG. Like you meet a character and they just have to unload on you while you just sit there and stare at them, because Maxxine had nothing to add to that conversation. Yeah. And I mean, and the only thing is like, also like, I already knew it was going to, not to be spoilers. I won't say the spoilers, but what I'll say is I already knew the ending before we found out what the ending was happening.
Yeah. It was
pretty obvious.
It was pretty predictable. And not really in a fun way.
Exactly.
Joey, how did you feel about this trilogy?
So I sat down in the movie theater with my extra large popcorn and my extra large slushie, and turned to my friend and said, "Hey man, do I have to see the previous two movies?"
God,
and he said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh."
You probably should have at least seen the first one.
Now, listen, I haven't seen them. So with that, this movie was pretty okay. I was told it was like a slasher flick vibe. I was very confused through the whole fucking thing. It wasn't really a slasher flick vibe, I thought.
It's part like Giallo, and then it's part like woman revenge film. And there's a movie I want to talk about later on that I kind of reminded me of. Well, spoiler, Joey. She was a porn actress, and her friends went to a cabin that was owned by Pearl and her husband, and they were making a porno, and the old lady Pearl got a little horny, and her husband killed all of them, and then she killed them.
Yep.
And now she's on the run.
I'm gonna watch that movie now.
Okay, well, good job, Joey.
Mike, whoa, hang on. I'm
done.
I got a lot to talk about here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought Kevin Bacon was pretty cool. He was a good
Yeah, that was pretty good.
detective. He should fucking have his own movie. That's a fucking movie I want to watch.
Maybe they'll give him an origin story.
And if it has to do with porn, I don't know, man. Like maybe we'll have to watch that.
So that scene where she's getting her head plastered for the special effects, and then she hallucinates an old lady massaging her shoulders. You had no idea what that was?
No, not a fucking clue.
That's her. That's her remembering Pearl, the killer from the first one, who has her own origin story.
I was
Mia Goth
elbow deep
plays
in a
in the first
popcorn
one.
bucket. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mia Goth played the old lady in the first one and the Maxine character, which is why she plays why she plays Pearl in the prequel. The characters are not actually related; they're just played by the same actress.
That makes sense.
Mike, as probably the biggest fan of this series, we already know how much you like the first two. How did this work for you as a trilogy ending film?
I liked it. I mean, like you said, it was very predictable, especially because the night before, me and my girlfriend had watched X.
Yeah.
And like how it ends, you kind of like,
yeah,
it ends like, okay, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
But for me, I still really enjoy it. I like Mia Goth. I think she's a very good actress. So that's enough to like reel me in. Kevin Bacon was really good in it.
Yeah.
The kills were good. The ones that we've seen,
Mm-hmm.
pretty brutal. I know there's one that you particularly loved.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there was one at the end that was rough. There was one in the beginning.
Bro,
Every
bro.
man who watched this, I saw this by myself. Am I still a robot?
No, you're good.
No.
Okay. I saw this by myself, and when that scene happened, I went, "Oh my god!" And these two girls, down the row from me, just started like cracking up. That was a rough scene to watch.
It was very rough.
I was not expecting that at all.
No,
Like, I
no,
thought she was going to
no.
hit his head. I was ready for a head crush. And when I saw that, like, I literally just I just yelled like, "Oh, Jesus. Oh my God."
So yeah, Maxine, I guess we'll talk about the story of the movie. Maxine has made her way to Hollywood.
Yes.
She became the sex icon like she thought she would be, but now she wants to transition to major motion pictures. And by that, I mean B horror movies. So she's auditioning. She gets the role in Puritan 2. But while things are going well for her, a killer is going around, killing people who are kind of close to her or people she encounters.
Mhm.
And this killer knows who she is. And he's sending her VHS tapes because it's the 80s now, baby. So yeah, now that she knows her life's in danger and Kevin Bacon's after her. Her agent, what's his name? Giancarlo Esposito tries to help her out. It becomes like a woman's revenge film. And I love like her crazy 80s war paint that she has on toward the end of the film. And it reminded me of a movie called Savage Streets with Linda Blair, which has one of the coolest theme songs ever. So yeah, it becomes more of like an action, like revenge film than it is a horror movie, although the horror elements are okay. The problem is that I don't want to spoil too much, but like, you know who the killer is.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of waiting for it to happen. And then it gets a little goofy at the end.
Which I like that part. I like the end. Like when it gets goofy, I was like, okay, if you're gonna go goofy, give me more goofy in the beginning.
Might as well go all out on it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought there were a lot of good performances in it. This is a fun trilogy that we have right now. All three films feel very, very different. They're all low budget, so they were allowed to take crazy risks because there wasn't a lot riding on it. They're really cheap movies to make. They obviously did well enough that every actor in the world wanted to be in this one. Yeah, overall, I think we got a solid trilogy, and this was a fun film. I don't know how I'd rank. I think X is still the best. I would need to watch Pearl and Maxine back to back and see which one I enjoy more. But yeah, this is a good time. Any last words on Maxine? Joey C, why are you smiling so much?
I was just giggling about the porn thing and Pearl, man.
It reminded me a little bit of Body Double.
Porn.
But wait, hold on. What was that?
Huh?
You guys talked at the same time. Logan, what did you say first?
Oh, I'm just saying, it kind of gave me that like Body Double vibe. If you ever like, because like he's like talking to like a porn star and stuff like that, and just like the dance club scenes and stuff. Like I just
never
had that
seen
like
Body Double. I should see that.
Oh, Brian De Palma, yeah, it's good, man.
I do like Brian De Palma.
That's
Mike,
80s. Like
No,
that
yeah.
is
No,
80s. Like that's more 80s than this movie thinks it's 80s. That was the only thing I would say. That's my only gripe. They kept on like everyone say it's style, it's 80s style. I'm like, not really getting it. It just seems like what people. It didn't really feel like authentic 80s personally to me.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.